Alright, the basic functionality of this cat on a shelf game is coming together. We could keep track of score and life. I could crush the enemy and knock it off the shelf. And as you just saw in that little playback video, I have a problem. When I get to the edges of the shelf here with my cube, I can't see what's going on. So I want to make the camera stay focused on the player. I'm going to have to make a script for the camera to follow the player. What we'll do here is we'll create another script. We'll make the script for cam follow. Now I'll open up that script. I can always take that out and I'm going to add stuff in as I need it. I know I need using Unity Engine to have the mono behavior, so I'll leave that there. So let's think. I need the camera to follow the player. This camera script is gonna have to know who the player is. So in the camera script, I'm gonna have to have a public game object player. It's gonna have to know what the player is. Public so I can see it in the inspector window. That cam follow, and let's drag it onto the camera. And now we see we have it right there, and it wants to know what the player is. I'm gonna have to take from the scene the player object and drag it and drop it onto the camera. When the camera follows the player, there's going to be a speed for it to move. Let's start off by saying it moves at a speed of 2. I guess we'll need to know the original position of the camera from the player. I'm going to have to move over, and so let me set the camera position to there, Control Shift F. This is the position the camera always wants to get to. When I press start on the game, I need to know the position of the camera related to the player. So when the player starts moving around, I could actually have the camera stay in this viewpoint from the player. I need another variable. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Private, float, and it's a distance in the z-axis. Distance equals, I don't know what, because we'll get that in the start function. Private void start. Start is a mono behavior event. When the game presses play, it happens once. So this is how far the camera is in the z distance from the player. It is the player. Well, you know what? This camera script may not be working on the player. So I'm going to change the name of this. I'm going to rename it to focus target. What I'm trying to focus on. So it's the focus target dot transform dot position dot z minus the camera's actual z position dot z. That tells me how far back on the z-axis the camera currently is. What'll happen on the update function, what I want the camera to do is to dolly on the x. And while it's dollying on the x, I want the camera to maintain the same z distance. Why do I have to worry about the z distance? I do have to worry about the z distance because the player could move back and forth on the z-axis. So 2 axes I gotta worry about, x and z. What is gonna be my new z? The original z is this over here. So maybe I should name this better. Original z. The new z is going to equal the focus target dot transform dot position dot z minus the original z. Now I need a vector for the camera to move to from where it is. So cam move to focus target dot position dot x. On the y-axis, the camera could stay in the same place it is. This dot transform dot position dot y. And on the z-axis, it's my new z. But I don't want it to move there immediately. This dot transform dot position. I'm going to use the move toward function. So I'm going to use vector3 dot move towards this dot transform my current position of the camera to the new position is cam move to, and how fast do I move? It's the move speed, and this is time delta time, so it moves smoothly no matter how fast your computer is. Let's see if it works. We need to tell it what to follow. I changed the name, so it's going to follow the player. So there you go. That's good. The camera moves there, and I kind of go to the edge of the screen. The camera moves there. So now we can decide if the camera is moving too slow or not. So what we could do here is see how fast the player is moving. We have the player moving at a speed of 3.5, and we kind of are jumping at a height of 8. I think it's a little too high from when I just saw what was going on. It takes a while to get back down to the ground. I'll try 5. And for speed, I'll try 4. And then for the camera, I'm gonna try the speed is 3, not too much lag, because then we kind of see it. I could fall off the edge because the camera's not following me fast enough. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this video here, and then in the next video, we'll add the part where we get a score when the can falls off the ledge.